La Resortera. Hello, and thanks for joining us here another week at Pura Vida Perspectives podcast with Jairo, and we have our guest that we've actually had for a few weeks now. This is going to be his last episode with us, so we're going to have to bid him farewell. The few last episodes that we had from him I felt were very enlightening, a lot of knowledge. We talked about budget travel, house sitting, just integrating into new countries and how you can respect cultures. So we've had a really interesting conversations, and I hope that you guys have learned a lot. So if you haven't seen those, or if this is the first one that you're tuning into, definitely go back,
check it out,
and check those out. So we have Bastian from Costa Rica Travels by Bakker Feeling Adventures. So they have an amazing YouTube channel that they've really documented so much of Costa Rica. And today is going to be the final episode where we're going to talk about their future plans. They're going to be documenting a whole heck of a lot more than Costa Rica. So if you're a lover of travel, a lover of adventure, this is...
Pack your suitcase. Let's go.
I know. So, and I understand that this is new news. Like you have not told anyone about this yet. So
Breaking news.
Breaking
news.
We feel very honored.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that. And before you share what it is, wow.
No, let's build up some.
Yeah,
I know he's already
wow, you guys have some balls.
Thank you so much.
To do what you're about to do. Like I said in past episodes, your vibe, it's so pura vida. You guys are so amazing, so brave to do what you're about to do, to do what you have done, but what you guys are about to do. Wow, that is wow.
Well, thank you very much. That's really flattering. Like I said in the other episode, I always say, because sometimes people are like, oh, but you're doing this. And we're not different than anybody else. The difference is that courage is the magic that makes dreams come true. And life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So if you have a knack or a feeling or a hunch that you want to do something, don't wait for the right moment. The right moment is now. It always is now. So just do it. Take a leap of faith and go. And that's the best advice you can give for anything, actually.
All right. Well, without further ado.
Well, I'm gonna give it a little bit more of a
expectation.
Yeah. So the thing is that we always have been traveling a lot. Like we traveled the world. We've been to 55 countries. We wanted to start a permanent journey around the world 4.5 years ago, starting in Australia. Pandemic happened. We got stranded in Costa Rica. I do this with brackets because it sounds like, oh, poor people. It's the best place in the world to be stranded for 4.5 years. Come on. If you don't
You've been on the lockdown for 4 years.
Oh, yeah. Oh, poor us. So, yeah, if anything, we've discovered Costa Rica in every corner of the country. Check out our channel if you haven't seen it yet. We have been everywhere. But it comes to a point, and it started last year to itch already, to say, hey, listen, pandemic is over. We can travel again. Countries are open again. It starts to be time for us to travel. The last year we had a couple of mishaps. The biggest one was that my external hard drive, it fell and it broke beyond repair, and I lost 5.5 terabytes of shot material.
Wow, material that wasn't even presented or put it out there.
Luckily, it has. This is my stock footage library. So I worked the last years, of course, shooting videos here in Costa Rica and all the other countries. 5.5 terabytes is a lot of material. I also had that material made into a stock footage library. So I put, like, for example, Costa Rica, wildlife, monkeys, howler monkeys, whitefish monkeys, and I had all this material cleaned. So that was really a kick in the stomach. And what we discussed last episode as well, things happen for a reason. So we're like, okay, with that, I'm kind of out of the game. If I want to continue making videos for Costa Rica, we're going to have to restart filming everything. Nobody's paying me for that. So it kind of like felt like a really downer, like, okay, now what we do? And then it kind of dawned on me, like, perhaps this is the time for us to look further. Like, okay, what are we going to do next? We need to continue to travel. Otherwise, we're just going to get our permanent residence in Costa Rica and stay here. So then we start to think, wow, what do we want to do? And the thing is, to go to one next country, or we want to do something extravagant. We haven't traveled for 4.5 years, like really extensive travel. We wanted to travel the world, and this is the time to restart our adventure. And then I start to think, what is the biggest trip you can do? Like the biggest, I don't know, for example, road trip, because we love road trips. What is the biggest road trip in the world? Well, for those that don't know, and here we come again with the ruffle, the Pan American Highway. So we are going to start in Alaska, which is the final frontier, and drive all the way to the Ushuaia in Argentina, which is called the end of the world.
Wow. Wow. And I can't stop saying, wow.
We are super, super, super stoked for this. We're
What
really excited.
is your estimate? And now I have a lot of questions. We were talking about it before inside. I was
Stop.
yeah, quiet. Like, save those questions for when we start doing the podcast. What's your estimate time of doing so?
Getting back at the living the Pura Vida vibe, there's no estimate time. We calculate about 1.5 years, 2 years. But that's not a schedule. That's a calculation. So if it takes us a year, if it takes us 3 years, we don't care. It's about making the journey and getting the experience. So we have an itinerary, a set itinerary with 162 set destinations that we are
you
going to
already
visit.
have.
Oh yes, we have done our homework. But of course, let's just say that I don't know you, and we get into California, and I meet you there, and we get a good click, and you say, hey, listen, next week is my birthday, I want you to be there. Or in 2 weeks, there's a festival you need to see. Or, hey, listen, you forgot there's like a day driving back, there's this big park that you should have seen and you missed out. We have had this a lot during our travels prior to coming to Costa Rica, and it always annoyed us, the lack of time. It's always time. So we want to go and have the flexibility to stay in a place as long as we need to. If you tell us that we need to go see this temple that we missed, we go back and see this temple.
Okay.
If there's a festival next week that appeals to me, we'll stay and go and see this festival. So there's not really a schedule for us of how long we're going to stay in places. We'll see. Pura vida.
Yeah. And I don't remember if we said it during this, but how are you going to be traveling around and having that flexibility?
We are going to travel out with a camper van, so that you have your own bed, you have your shower, you have your toilet, and your kitchen, and that's going to take away a lot of costs, a lot of looking for hotels, and it's going to give us a lot of freedom to go and stay as we please and where we please.
Okay. I'm going to have a bunch of questions.
That's great.
Stop me or jump in it at any time because, I talk a lot. But in big countries like the States, Canada, or Mexico, how do you pretend to cover the? Are you pretend to cover the whole country, part of it? What's the plan in those big countries?
That's
or
a good
you
question.
or you just gonna like drive to the west and go into the middle of the country, or like what's?
Okay, so technically, if you look at the Pan American Highway, it's basically just the West Coast. If you're just gonna,
That's what I'm saying.
there's various routes that are.
So you're just doing the Pan American Highway.
No. Here's the thing. We have a bucket list. So let's say, for example, Colombia is on my bucket list. Now, if I only drive through the Pan American Highway, I'm going to miss out on a lot of Colombia.
Okay.
What I want to do with this trip is to be able to say, okay, I can take Colombia off my list. I've been there. I've seen there. I got the T-shirt and. So for that, I need to do more than just driving the Pan American Highway. So the idea in every country, everything that we want to see, all the highlights, left, right, and every corner of the country, we're going to do that. But the main goal is the Pan American Highway, but along the Pan American Highway, we will go to all these places. So we will actually go and see every highlight that's on our list in every country.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, like for example, I don't think you're gonna hit New York.
Well, here's the thing. We already been there. So everything that is on our every
That you've done
itinerary,
before.
yeah, we're not going to repeat.
Okay.
So
I was just asking.
no, that's a good question. Because the thing is, for example, if we would pick up our vehicle in Florida, then we would start our trip in Florida. Then we would say, hey, we either ship the vehicle to Alaska, Anchorage, or we take the vehicle and drive it. Okay, that gives you another extra road trip. So that really depends on where we would get our vehicle, if we're going to transport it or drive it ourselves. But we did a trip through the States many years back. We did from New York to San Francisco. So in our humble opinion, we have seen what we came to see.
Okay.
So in that case, the States would be just the West Coast. The countries that we haven't visited, there we will do some more extensive exploration. But we have kind of a zigzag way of going through places.
Okay.
That's gonna be so cool.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, like I said, I'm the. We have split the chores. She does a lot of the paperwork. For example, my chore is to make the itinerary, which is my favorite part. So getting into all these countries and exploring, like what's the highlights, and I can get emotional and enthusiastic while doing this research. And of course, we asked our viewers and we asked people on Facebook and all of our social media to give us tips. And it's been raining with places, and so for me to make the route, to make the itinerary, that was really like the first. It's part of the trip already, the first excitement. So I know where we're going. She has seen some pictures, but of course, it's gonna be really exciting. There's so many beautiful places.
And do you have an estimate time on when this is gonna happen?
If everything goes according to our plan, June this year. So right now we are in. We have put our Costa Rica travel videos a little bit on a low burner, and we are spending every day right now full throttle getting the sponsors. So if there's somebody listening and say, "Hey, this sounds interesting," we're gonna go through 15 countries, so that's good publicity. We still have an open door policy for sponsors and offerings. We're looking for that. There's a lot of paperwork to be arranged. You have to look at your visas. How long can you stay in a country? Costa Rica has a very open policy for border runs. So if we need to leave the country and come back today, we go to Nicaragua, for example. So it really depends how long are we going to stay in each country for the visas, for the papers, and all that kind of stuff. And also depending on how much we want to see in each place. We're going to meet friends along the way, stay a bit longer. So it does have to be a lot of flexibility there.
Just wow, I'm pretty speechless, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just imagining what I'm excited to follow along and be seeing your journey over the years. I'm subscribed. I think I mentioned it in others, and I know I mentioned in the beginning of this. We're gonna have your YouTube link, in the description of this video.
Cool.
So if anyone else wants to follow that and just follow them along, definitely give them a follow.
Join the adventure. It's gonna be epic. It's gonna be epic.
That's why all I can say is wow, because like you said, I'm speechless. This is very brave to do such a thing. Any thoughts on countries that might be complicated?
Oh, for sure. Like for example, it depends, of course, what complications are. For me, this is not a complication for general, but we don't like the cold. We are really like we hate the cold. So Canada and Alaska is going to be a challenge for us to cope with that kind of temperature. This is why we're going in June, because the spring and the summer. Exactly. And also that way, by the time we get to the southern part of where everything, southern hemisphere, where everything is warmer, we get here when it's cooler. So we kind of have the cool weather in the warm countries and vice versa. Countries that we worried about would be Salvador, Honduras. We got told to just keep driving. We're not really scared people. We traveled a lot. We've been in countries where there has been terrorism. We've been in countries where there's been other problems.
Carteles.
And every country has these problems. It depends where you are, the attitude that you bring, the positive energy that you send out and get back, or if you're sending negative vibes, you get you get what you send out. So we're not scared. We're not afraid of.
Just be careful.
We're careful, and we things happen, then they happen, but we don't really. I'm worried more about the car breaking down halfway through the trip than anything else.
That was actually my next question. I told you I have a bunch of questions.
These are good. I did. At some point, I want to make a note about El Salvador. We did go, and I loved it.
El Salvador is nice.
Super nice.
As of today, it's a really nice country.
Super nice.
It's
I drove. Yeah. I felt super safe. It was really good.
I've heard that the same for Honduras. It's not as dangerous as it used to be. But you have to be, you have to be careful. Anyway.
Exactly.
You can get robbed here as well. So
my question was about car breaking down. Oil change.
Yeah. So this is a thing
Maintenance.
that you see because of course we are also investigating YouTube channels and other people that are already having done this trip, because I want to learn from their mistakes, right? I don't need to make mistakes twice. There's enough to choose from. So we see the main thing, car breakdown. And these people get to the point where they're stuck in Mexico for 3 months and they have to learn to fix the car because the mechanic is like, hey, you're going to be doing this every so other. So for us, what we learned is because these people get a second-hand car, then they convert the van themselves because some people are handy, some are not as much. And that's the thing. So we are looking to get a new vehicle because we don't want to. I would like to start. My trip is not about mechanics or learning about car. That's not the
It's
trip.
about enjoying.
I want to enjoy this trip. Exactly. So if we get a first new car, that with the wet paint and everything, and we're the first to drive it, then I have more the feeling that we'll get to the end without all too much of visits.
How many kilometers are expected to be driven?
It's about 30,000 miles, but I think it's going to be more as we're going to do a lot of zigzagging. I think it's going to be double than that. So let's say that's about 100,000 kilometers.
How many?
I think it's 30 miles. It's 50,000 kilometers, more or less.
50,000 kilometers.
I'm not really sure. That's the Pan American Highway, but we're going to add up to that.
Okay. 50,000 kilometers.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah, because I'm not really good with 60. My wife is doing 6. Oh, yeah,
60,000
kilometers.
Well, that's
plus your detours.
Plus my detours.
If you get a brand new car, you have more chances on all you have to do is maintenance.
Correct.
Maintenance, oil change, maintenance. Sometime, while you're 30,000 or so, buy new tires.
Checkup, yeah.
When you get to Panama.
Yes, when you get to Panama.
When you get to Panama, buy new tires. So, you're the one doing the trip, and it's not my business. But yeah, if you get a brand new car and the total is 60,000 kilometers, you have less chances of having a car that breaks down.
Correct.
With that type of mileage.
And that's kind of the goal, because of course we can get a camper van which is cheaper than a motorhome. We can get a second-hand one which is cheaper than new. We can go cheapskate, but cheaper isn't always better. And if I buy a camper van for $10,000 and spend $4,000 in repairing it instead of getting a motorhome for $40,000 or $50,000, you're gonna pay that money either way. Yeah. But now you're gonna pay it being frustrated.
Get it fixed.
And you're stuck in Mexico for 3 months. You're not going to shoot videos. You're not going to go tours. You're not going to do anything else than being frustrated. And I don't want to become a mechanic. So let's not do that. Let's invest some bit more money at the start. Yeah.
Yep, that's smart.
No, I mean, yeah. I think that's definitely the best way to do it.
And you say June. And what happens when you finish the trip?
We don't know. I mean, when we came to Costa Rica, we didn't know what was going to happen. And like I said, nothing goes the way you plan. You have to roll with the punches. The less you plan, the more will happen. So we're going to do this trip. And when we finish, we'll see what we do next. Maybe it's Asia, because that's kind of like what would be next for me. But
my question was, when you end your trip, will you be coming back to Costa Rica? Or?
Well, for sure, the opportunity for us to come back here for staying a while, but I wouldn't say we go back to live here right away, because we are a long way from being gone with our bucket list. Like, there's a lot of more countries and things you want to explore. Nice. We have said, like, when we started this, at least 10 years of traveling before you want to settle down. So we still got a couple years to go.
Wow. I'm gonna have to live vicariously through the videos.
Yeah. Well, you already have 2 fans here.
Cool.
Of this journey and this adventure. That's gonna be fun.
I think
it's gonna be fun to watch too.
It will be. As I said, I'm subscribed. I put on the notifications.
Well, like I said, this is the biggest trip we've done. We've done all sorts of trips. We've done all different venues of traveling along the years, trying things out. And I think, of course, besides cruising, but yeah, who's going to pay for that? Road trips is one of our favorite ways, because you get the freedom. And this is the biggest road trip in the world. So
let me ask you, would you be willing to take on someone during your trip, like for a period of time? Let's say I get crazy and I say, I'm bored. And I contact you and I say, hey, where are you? And you say, go. I'm in California or I'm in Mexico. Can I come down with you for 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week or whatever?
This is like the more the merrier. This is what we want. Like if people are listening and they're in California and say, hey, I want to host you guys, or I got a place that I want to show you guys. If people along the way want to show us places or host us or join us for the trip, more than welcome.
Sara, right here in Pura Vida Perspectives and taking his word, how about we take a week to join them at some point during his trip?
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to take your word for that. That's going to be absolutely awesome.
So
I don't know.
I guess we have to look at your route. Send us your route, and we'll see.
No,
I would like to try a country that I haven't been to before.
Exactly. Like some place, they're in South America.
Yeah. I've been wanting to do more
like
South
Bolivia
America.
Or like Ecuador.
Okay.
Or like when they're down there, at some random place that we never visited.
Can you please keep us informed and don't forget?
Absolutely. I won't forget. Don't worry, because this is like part of our itinerary. We want to, because we've seen a guy that did the Pan American Highway, and his goal was to pick up at least 100 hitchhikers. So at some point there were 7 people sleeping in this Volkswagen. Yeah, but we don't need to necessarily go to that point of 7 people sleeping in a Volkswagen. But we want to do this. If we meet people along the way that are also traveling, say, hey, let's go together.
Yeah.
Let's make a caravan.
Well,
So yeah, why not?
Last week, this guy uploaded a short video on his Instagram tagging my car rental company and saying, thank you, car rental Costa Rica, USA, blah, 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 blah. And then he make a video and he also tagged me and saying, well, this is my experience on traveling in Costa Rica with 4 unknown people.
Cool.
Like they met online and they never seen each other before. They came down to Costa Rica, they rented the car with me, and they traveled for 2 weeks.
That's cool.
That's
And
nice.
he made like a short video, like a minute of the entire trip.
Cool.
And I was like, wow, this dude really came to Costa Rica with people he never met in his life before.
But that's an adventure, right?
I bet that was a pretty good adventure.
Because one of the things we're looking at right now as well, of course, it's a lot of work. And like, having a YouTube channel is a lot of work. We need to drive. We need to work on the sleepless night. There's a lot of things involved, and it's just the 2 of us. So for us to make this a successful trip, because of course we've got more goals than just doing the Pan American Highway. So we said we might need to expand our team. So we're actually looking at the possibilities of getting a second vehicle and getting 2 internships. Somebody that can help me with the YouTube channel, the SEO research, and somebody that can set up interviews, podcasts along the way. So that way we would be 4 of us.
I'm going to put you in contact with this guy because I've been seeing, my phone, Tamara has it. But and once we're done with the episode, I'm going to show you. He's living like in a van somewhere in the States where there's a bunch of snow.
Wow.
And he's like, well, last week I was with sun and in the wild in Costa Rica. Right now I'm freezing. I don't know what he does or what he's doing, but according to what you're saying, that's the type of people that can tag along.
That would be nice.
That can tag along to help you, with the videos and everything. But Sarah, how about we jump on his trip? We hijack his trip,
Yeah.
2 of us,
Yeah.
for a week.
We're gonna bring all the equipment
You're
down.
more than welcome.
We're gonna have an updated podcast. I like the idea of Bolivia or Ecuador for sure.
That's what I'm saying because
done
the
Colombia.
States we've done it, and Mexico I've been there. I don't know about you, but
No, but I figure like you've already been, so I think it'd be cool for us to choose
exactly
maybe
like Bolivia, Ecuador, Paraguay, Peru.
Well, Peru, I need like 2 weeks there.
Oh yeah,
I think Peru would be a favorite, Guatemala and Ecuador. I think those are the places with the most wow factors of sightseeing.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. Besides me putting Sarah on the spot and telling her to come and tag along with you for a week or so, I might be coming down. If you're gonna do this for a year and a half, 2 years, I might call you like, where are you? Like
Every 3 months. Where you guys at now?
Exactly.
Cool. Let's do that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
why not?
Like where are you right now? Well, I'm here in Canada. Just started my trip like 3 months ago. All right, can I come over for a week?
Bring it on.
and I'll tag along with you guys and have fun with you guys. And
Well, I think that would be a great experience when people do that. I got friends in Holland that also say, hey, listen, I want to visit you, but you're already leaving Costa Rica. I said, join me on the trip. Come a week, come 2 weeks, whatever, And I think that's going to make this trip like unique and fun and a different experience.
and then I fly back home. Then within the next 4 or 5 months, hey guys, where are you? Well, I'm in Mexico. You're probably going to be where, I don't know, Guadalajara or
it's on the list.
or Querétaro, or I don't know. And I'll say, well, can I come join you guys for, I don't know.
Oh, I think that would be cool.
Or maybe it gets to a point where you're crossing from one country to another and we get to experience that.
And of course, we're also going to pass through Costa Rica.
There you go.
And even though we've been here for extensive time now, we're going to shoot new videos and, maybe.
Well, I'll tell
Maybe
you
you
what.
can come in for a podcast. If you have time, make a
Absolutely.
quick little detour. We'll have you back for an update.
Exactly.
Cool, that'd be nice.
Cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely.
That,
for
that would be
yeah.
cool. And I'm telling you, my wife, when she sees this, stay a couple days in my house when you're coming down back.
That
in
would
Costa
be
Rica.
awesome. We would like that very much.
Yep.
Cool. Oh, that's really nice. I'm getting even more excited now.
Yeah. I was curious to see, are there any places that are on your list that you're just like so excited about? Like maybe like your top ones, you're like, I cannot wait to see like these particular places.
Yes, because of course some of these places are already high up on my bucket list. Like for example, Machu Picchu. I'm a lifetime geek obsessed with Maya temples and all that kind of stuff, and I've never seen any of it. So going to Mexico, seeing Maya temples, going to Machu Picchu, seeing all that stuff, the Rainbow Mountains in Machu Picchu. I can get excited talking about this stuff, and the same goes for Ecuador and Guatemala. When I did my research and I started seeing pictures of these places that we're going to visit, I can like yeah. I don't know if you ever seen this video of this guy explaining surfing, and he goes like, "Oh, there's a wave going like," and you know, he doesn't really say words, but you get this enthusiasm and this gist. That's kind of why I feel with traveling, especially with this kind of stuff. Like I'm lost for words of how enthusiastic it makes me to be able to see all these beautiful places in person up front in life.
Well, I'm telling you, I'll see you on the road, man.
Shake on that. That's a deal.
I'll see you on the road. I'll definitely come join you.
Absolutely.
I don't know how many times, but and I'm inviting myself. I don't know if I should do this. My wife always tell me, "Why do you do that, Jairo? They're not inviting you. Why are you doing this?"
We're inviting you right now. You're invited. So that's cool.
But that would be fun. Like, just send you a text like, "Hey, dude, where are you right now?"
Okay, but can you give me some more ahead notice?
Yeah, I mean, like
where are you right now? And then you're gonna fly out the next week, or can I have I need some.
Yeah, within the week or so. Like,
I need a little bit more heads up. I need like 2 months notice. I don't know. Wait, but then you guys probably can't. Whatever, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, because we don't know where he's gonna be at. Remember the way he's gonna travel.
That's gonna be slow paced, so you're gonna have.
No, I understand it's gonna be slow, but you don't know where you're gonna be 2 months from now.
No,
but I can say like, get on the phone with him. Hey, dude, where are you? I don't know. I'm in Texas. All right. How long you plan to be in Texas for? I'm gonna be here another week or 2 weeks, or I'm gonna move to Austin, and then I'm gonna do the crossing to the border, or I'm in Guadalajara. You know, it's like, in my case, it's easier for me to, like, within a week, just boom, get out.
Spontaneous.
Yeah, because I can work, like you with my car rental, I can work from anywhere. Sarah,
I can actually work from anywhere. I just,
I know.
There's life.
But you got Ksenia.
Yeah.
We got Sarah.
And I fill up my calendar a lot.
Sarah,
it seems like he doesn't want to have you there.
Well, we talked about
what I'm saying is, Sarah, you got to be more.
I put a lot
more
on my
loosey.
calendar. You know what? Maybe by then I will be. That's the
Yeah.
thing. That's what I'm trying to work on this year too. Is just like to free up more of my schedule, free up more
That's
of my
what
time.
you need to do.
Delegate more.
You need to have more me time.
Yeah.
So we can just call him up and say, "Hey, where are you?" All right, Sarah and I are on our way.
Yeah.
Bring it on. Yeah, that'd be cool. Actually, that'd be really nice. And to explore things together and to see where we are, and that'd be nice.
That's gonna be fun.
And then he'll have to come for the episode. They'll have to come for the episode.
Oh
and
yeah,
then we're gonna get that full update.
whenever they drive down to Costa Rica,
yeah,
you
For
guys
sure.
need to
That's for
definitely stop by.
Absolutely.
Because you have a lot of stories.
Oh yeah.
We will have more stories by that time.
I know. I'll have to be like an extra special episode, like an hour-long one or something.
Yeah,
Oh, for that, I wouldn't mind doing that. So
yeah.
yeah.
I'm excited, and it's not even my trip.
I know.
But like I said, I already invited myself, and that's my wife always tells me, like, Jairo, they're not asking you to go. They're not. Why are you doing
So
this?
in case your wife is listening, we're asking you to come along and enjoy us on a trip.
It's gonna
For
be
sure.
fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be
gonna
nice.
be
It's
fun.
gonna be
You
fun.
guys, again, to your wife over there, wow, just wow. You are so brave. You are such a beautiful couple.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations, and I hope that you guys are safe out there, and that you enjoy every single minute of the trip. You guys deserve it.
Thank you so much.
Your vibe, like I said on the past episodes, is just amazing, man. You have embraced that pura vida. I see that you have a tattoo. You should get a pura vida tattoo somewhere, because you really live by it. And I'm sure you're gonna tell people about Costa Rica.
Oh, for sure.
And at the end of the day, you guys are gonna share your perspective of Costa Rica to so many people down the road, that people is gonna come down to Costa Rica just because they say, "Well, we met this crazy couple that are just enjoying the life, and they told us so much about Costa Rica. We just want to come down there too."
Oh, for sure. Because like I said, it's among our top 3 countries that we visited. We have over 700 videos and shorts on Costa Rica. We have our website on Costa Rica Travel. So we really put a lot of work into the Costa Rica tourism. And that's something I will advocate in ongoing years. I will definitely send people down to Costa Rica and check it out.
Yeah.
All right. Before you guys take off, like whenever you guys are like ready, let me know. So maybe Sarah and I, Like we can have like a goodbye, like a farewell, like a barbecue or something in
Oh
my
yeah,
house
sure. I'm
in
in for
Grecia.
that. Yay.
Because hey, you guys need to fly out of San Jose. So here's another open invitation. If you need a
Cool.
place to stay before you fly,
For sure.
come to my house, stay the night in my house. I personally will take you to the airport on the
That's a deal.
on the day of
That's a
the
deal.
day of your trip.
Cool.
We'll make a barbecue,
Of course we will.
like
Yeah.
for a farewell barbecue, and we'll send you more goodbye wishes.
There will be a nice video as well
Yeah,
to make for us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Cool.
like I
Okay,
said,
that's a
the
deal.
night before you leave Costa Rica, stay at my house, and I'll personally drive you to the airport.
Cool. Flying with a hangover.
Oh, hell yeah.
Sounds like a cunning plan.
Yeah, it'll be like that.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, Sarah, anything else you want to tell this gorgeous couple?
I think this was amazing. Thank you guys, for sharing your story.
It's been a pleasure.
And I hope everyone else enjoyed listening. And we're really looking forward to your updates. Of course, we wish you the best of luck in your
Thank you
journey.
so
We'll be
much.
following along. We'll be hopefully coming
yeah.
to see you on the way. And
Yeah.
thanks for another great episode and for joining us.
Thank you so much for having us.
All right, pura vida. I hope you guys love
Pura
this
vida.
episode as much as we did. See you next week.
And don't forget to find their information in the description below, too.
Pura vida. Bye-bye.
Ciao.
Bye.
Esto fue una producción de La Resortera.